Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I know, Pat. Well, today's the 13th of October, and I did have a message up about the election, actually, but you've put one up, so I'm put it in. So my election announcement is on the 17th of November. We'll go to the polls in Hollingwood, and there's an available seat there because the current Labour person who had the seat, Jean Stretton, has died. Someone's called an election. I'm filling in my nomination papers. I'll have them filled in tomorrow. They'll be back in the office either Friday or Monday. And then next week, Friday's the last day to get nomination papers in. So I'm guessing Monday or Tuesday, the week after, they'll announce the election. So I've already started tomorrow. I've got a couple of lads out delivering leaflets, and I'm going to be doing some door knocking. But going forward, I need help. I need people up to help me leafleting and door knocking. If you've got any time or anything like that, anytime during the week or weekend, contact me and we'll arrange something. But yeah, so this is my second election within a year. Good evening, Mark. It's also Pat McGinnis has also done 2 elections in a year. And then I'm on my 3rd election next May. I can't say my chances until I know who's running. But I have a good chance of getting a nice amount of votes. So 17th of November, I have to have my nomination papers in by next Friday, which I'll have them in on Monday. And I'm going to need help. Already, I've got a lad out tomorrow, leafleting one of the postal code areas. And hopefully I will have another lad by the weekend also doing another area. But I do need help, so please get in contact with me. Let's get my phone number up on screen. You can also email me. So I'll put me. There we are. My email's up and me. Oh no, there's no phone number. There we are. My email and then Pat's email. So election, 17th of November. It'll be my second election this year. And there still is another election next year. So whoever gets elected will be elected for a councillor for 5 months. Then they have to run again. So if I did get elected, I'd have 5 months in. Then I'll be running again in May. So it's only a single vote election. Probably won't be a big turnout, I don't think. But yeah, Big John's on his second election in a year. 170 votes on my first election. And I gave, before we knew the votes, I said I'm going to get between 150 and 200 votes. 174 is bang on the middle of that. So I was very accurate there. I can't say yet. I'm not going to say yet how many votes I am expecting, but I will give you in between a range of 50 up or 50 down. But I will set that amount before we go to the polls. Yeah, I'm excited, but my head's been up my arse today with all paperwork. I've got a new set of the electoral list that tells you everyone's names. I've got a new set. So it'll have been updated from the last one that I've been using. So I've got a lot of ticking, cross-checking to do tonight. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm loving it. Actually, I'm loving it. It's feeding me. It's feeding me energy, this. I'm absolutely loving it. I don't know why more people haven't done this who are just working class in the time. Hopefully next year, I'll have 3 candidates running in Hollingwood, and we are going to secure a large chunk of the votes. It's going to happen. It's going that way. Labour are losing in Oldham. They're losing votes all the time. They're losing seats all the time. They're now down to 34 of the majority. And the Labour used to be 40 plus seats in Oldham, no more. 40 plus councillors in Oldham. That's not happening. They've gone down to well under 40, and I am expecting next May that they will go down under 30 and they will lose a majority. So that's no more voting for Labour things, and it's going to be more democratic, and people are going to have to make more difficult choices. I'm, you know, what am I expecting? I'm expecting some Labour people to vote for things that I might want and stuff like that in the time, but nobody says anything because the time's full of politically correct white people, unfortunately. So nothing ever gets said, nothing ever gets done. At the moment, there's a serving councillor who's been charged with rape or sexual abuse, and he's still serving on the council. We haven't been given the party's name, and we haven't been given his name. There's lots of names being thrown out, but, you know, nothing yet. We just don't know. And this is Oldham, and I'm guessing it's not Oldham. I'm guessing it's the rest of the councils across the country. They just love paedophiles. They just love paedophiles. Can I just say the Conservative Imran Khan, who got done for buggering a lad, he got charged with buggering a lad, and they still put him on a child safeguarding team. That's what they did. They put him on a child safeguarding team, even though he was up for buggering a lad. There's just no morals or anything in our MPs and all these people who are in the top. There's just no morals. So Big John's on his second election. Now, I'm not bigging myself up or anything, but has anyone else done 2 elections in a year? And are they active as active as I am? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Will they say the same things as me? Probably not. We're just not going to be politically correct. It doesn't work. It works. All it does is work to divide us, and everyone's still. Yes, it is, Daniel. The serving Labour councillor, Jean Stretton, passed away last month. So they're holding a little local by-election to replace her. But again, the person, yes, Peter, the person who gets in will only be in for 5 months, and you've got to run again. Now, if I did get in and I'm in for 5 months, great stuff. More advertising for me, and I'll be running again next May, hopefully with 2 other people. But yeah, that's what's happening, and I am absolutely buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. Pat's on it again. I'm standing in. Put Pat's comment up. 17th of November, ladies and gentlemen. 17th of November. Now, I did have an election agent last time, which was Peter Smith, but I'm not going to get an election agent. I'm going to get polling agents this time. I don't really need an election agent just yet. It's not a big enough of an election, but I want to get people's names down for polling agents, and doing that, you will be able to come to the count on the 17th and watch the count and see the happenings in the Civic Centre. Now, I'm limited for how many people I can have. I have asked Steve, who's leafleting tomorrow. I'm going to get Pat registered. And then I want the other people I want registering are people who live on Limeside. And I want them to see a bit of the process. So I'm going to approach a couple of people, see if they'll be polling agents, and then hopefully they'll be getting in the election. But 17th of November, ladies and gentlemen, my second election in a year, which takes a total of 4 elections that me and Pat have run in a year. Now, you know, we haven't got a seat yet, but if you can match that, good. But if you can't, you know what I mean, should be helping me. Please join our party. We've got, let me get the website up. It's funny sometimes. Sorry, I've just got to article here. Disgusting Londoners slam group for hanging White Nation anti-refugee message by Blackwall Tunnel. So it was exit the UN 1951. Exit the 1951 UN Refugee Convention. Now I don't know why that is anti-refugee. It's not. It's a convention that we want to come out of. Otherwise, we're never going to stop the flood of illegals coming in on boats. But obviously, these people want it. And it's okay to preserve white nations. And they went mad, apparently. Sadiq Khan said something. But the thing is, he can't do anything. We're a registered political party. We haven't broke any rules. They tried to pull us on this exit the 1951 Refugee Convention. But what I said to him is, well, I mean, you're saying that, but it's in UKIP's constitution. It's in the Social Democrats' constitution. It's in 4 or 5 groups' policies, not constitutions. They had to let us have it. Otherwise, if we were weaker people, we wouldn't have got in. It comes as 27 refugees died while trying to cross the channel last week. Well, they shouldn't be crossing on dinghies and boats. It's simple as. It's one of the first things I said that was how dangerous that crossing was and how many people are going to die. Now, I said that in 2017 when we first got a wind, these people were coming over like that. I said that and I've kept to it all the way. People die, you know what I mean, coming over on these illegal boats. But there's nothing the left could do. They did contact the Electoral Commission, but it didn't have any help. We are bona fide or political party, whatever description I have at the end of my National Housing Party in our 3-word description, we're allowed to have because we've okayed it with the Electoral Commission. So just the haters who were on here and all that, just get over it, guys. Get over it. The only way we're going to get took down is by not getting any council seats, but that's not an issue because we are going to get some council seats. We're going to get plenty of council seats over the next few years. Unbelievable. But anyway, let me just get our website up. We want people to join and then So please, you'll get a flash up, sign up for our updated working news, and we send emails out. Please subscribe to that and please join. 20 quid for workers, £10 for elderly or not working. But that is how we're going to be able to do stuff going forward. Got massive election next year in Oldham. I can't tell you how big it is. I can't tell you how important it is because Labour are going to lose a majority next year. I'm confident that they're going to get under 30 and they'll lose a majority. And that means that none of this building religious temples on grounds for housing, none of this selling houses to mosques, none of that, because I won't have any of it going through and I'll vote against it. And I think a lot of people will. I mean, one of my things coming up that I'm going to do when I get in the council, hopefully I'll be able to do it this year, is approach the council, ask them if we've got an housing crisis. If they say yeah, then I don't want any more religious buildings or anything taking place of housing, because that's what we're doing. We've built an Indian temple on land for housing in the area that needs housing most in Oldham. No one seems to be bothered about that. Everyone says that the temple's nice. It might be nice, but there's no room for people to live now. There's no houses for people to go in, which means there's more HMOs are going to start up, which means they're going to build in Saddleworth. Oh, yes, they're building 60-odd houses in Saddleworth. Really, Saddleworth, guys, what did you think were going to happen when you just ignore what's going on in the town centre, which what you've done all these years? That's everyone in the outer lying villages of Oldham. Oh, we're safe up here and all that. You're not safe. You're getting 60 houses, and I hope you get the scum of the earth in all them houses as well, just to guide you the right way. If you'd have put your foot down years ago and said no to immigration, then we wouldn't be in this situation now. But you didn't. You all live in the nice little outside areas thinking you're out of it all. You all left Oldham Town Centre to go into the area, the St Mary's area in Oldham Town Centre is one of the biggest crime areas in Greater Manchester, full stop. Biggest crime areas in Greater Manchester. We have some of the poorest wards in the United Kingdom, and they're in Oldham. Our benefit bill is £500 million a year. That's £500 million for child tax credit, right? And the people in these areas were saying they just don't work. Most of them don't work. Half of them can't even speak English. And you wonder why our town's going down and down. Also, through diversity, we've put people in the council who are just not good enough to do the jobs, really. And that's throughout a lot of services in Oldham. People in them just can't do the jobs because they're too thick. They can't speak English, or they're just ignorant scum. Now, I just want to say one more last thing. Let me have a check on comments. Hope everyone's all right. Come on, guys. 8 people watching when Big John's on his second election in 2 years. Shameful, guys. Come on. Should have 100 people on there. Minimum. So I just want to go back to Justice for Ellie. I'm getting a lot of flack off the people in the Justice for Ellie page. If you watch my videos, which some of you said you never watch them, but then you get the gist if you watch my videos. I've never, ever said who Ellie was abused by, right? I've never said whether they were white or black. I've just said she's been abused. But what I have said is that we know that abuse is going on in Cumbria. We know that already through that video of Anne-Marie Waters. The media, the police are lying. The media are covering it up. I don't know about the council, but I reckon the council had the same. And there was 2 shops that were highlighted at the time and were getting grief. Now, it's come to our attention that these 2 shops have been hiring illegal workers throughout the time that this Ellie thing come up. And other girls who've been abused and picked and tried to be picked up have pointed at these 2 shops, have pointed the finger at these 2 shops. And these 2 shops come out with, we haven't done nothing wrong. With this, that and the other, we haven't done nothing wrong. They've been hiring illegal workers. Illegal workers have been there. How do we know they haven't abused any kids? We just don't know. We don't know anything about these people. So, I mean, to all the thickos in Cumbria, all the lefty thickos, you're probably better watching my videos, right? But I mean, again, I've never said who Ellie has been abused by. I've never mentioned anything about colour to do with Ellie. What I have said is that we know that the police lie. They took Ellie Reynolds 2 years taking her to court for blackmail, and she got acquitted. So the police have lied there because she hadn't done nothing wrong, Ellie Reynolds. 2 years. We know that the police give out public information to journalists like they did with Amy Fenton, giving out Amory Water stuff, which is against the rules. The police in Cumbria are scumbags. That's all I can say. They're absolute scumbags. We've got a female police officer who was in Cumbria who did work on the investigation into rape up there, is now in Manchester. We don't trust them. We don't trust them. You know, and I've said before I said, even though I talked to police, I've said many a times, I think you're all paedophiles, crooks and gangsters. I've said that to them. The liars as well, the police, are absolute liars. And what else happened in Cumbria? The police came out and said there's no rape gang or none of that going. Yet there's guys been arrested from Yorkshire in relation to things that have gone on in Cumbria. And we know that the girls have been trafficked from Cumbria as far as Oldham. We know that. And we've got other evidence to support that. So grooming is going on in Cumbria. I don't know Ellie's, don't know. I've said this. I don't know anything about the back of Ellie's case. Don't know anything about it. I've just seen all the bruises on her. And what I have said is that grooming is going on in Barrow, which it is. Right? The police are liars. The media are liars. I don't know anything about the council in Cumbria, but I'm guessing they'll all be politically correct white people who won't say nothing because they don't want to upset the Islamic people who are raping the kids in Cumbria. And it's a bit sad that people won't say nothing because they don't want to upset the minority communities. Well, Big John's not like that. Big John is gonna offend the minority communities in Oldham because you're not integrating. We've shown this many a times. I've showed you how your kids at 19-year-old are committing sex offences, so they must be being brought up in a really weird way to be doing stuff like that. You know, crooks and gangsters, heroin dealers, and you know, I hate to brand people all the same, but there's not a lot. If you can show me evidence that half the people in Oldham aren't scumbag liars and they're from the minority communities, right? I want someone to show me that evidence because I just can't be doing with these people, me. They don't integrate. They don't want to learn English. They call everyone politically correct names. They go around threatening 50 semi-disabled women with death threats and all that. We've had Muslim activists go live on telly and said there could be riots again in Oldham if you don't take LGBT lessons out of school. If a white person would have said that, they'd have been convicted of a hate crime and sent to jail for the rest of their lives. I can't see a white person getting away with saying that on telly. This guy did. And he also received 18 or 19,000 money off Oldham Council for the Muslim Interfaith Forum. Besides that, we've got an issue with faith schools in Oldham. I haven't looked into it. I haven't got all the information, but I've been told off a very, very reliable source that it is a big issue in Oldham and it's something that's really kept silent and dumbed down because people don't want to know about it, which is faith schools. And if you know anything about me and faith schools, I'd want them all burning down. I want them all demolishing, and there shouldn't be none allowed in the United Kingdom. It's just ridiculous, just ridiculous. So Cumbria, the Cumbria cows and the Cumbria dogs. The Cumbria dogs. Yeah, the Cumbria dogs. Not all of them, because I know a couple of good Cumbrians. Just get your facts right. If you can find a video where I've said Ellie's been raped by a white or a brown person, please find it. I've never said that. Ellie could be lying. I have always said that. The fact is, grooming is going on in Cumbria and it's been covered up. The police have lied. The media are in on it. The council, more than likely, are in on it. And a lot of the people in Cumbria are politically correct white people who just won't say anything. That's my views on Cumbria. And, you know, I'll challenge anyone, me. My email's always up. My phone number's always there. If you want to challenge me, if you want to debate me about anything, get in contact with me. We'll have a debate. I won't call you no names. I won't call you any politically correct names or anything like that. But I will debate with you. But if you want that, just get in contact with me. And that goes for all the Cumbrian cucumbers. That's the Cumbrian cucumbers. Again, I've never said anything about Ellie's back case. Never said one thing. And I've said many a time she could be lying. But what I have said is that we know that grooming is going on in Cumbria. We know there's guys have been arrested for it who are from Yorkshire. We know that girls have been trafficked from Cumbria all over Yorkshire, as far down as Manchester, if not further. But people don't want to listen to that because they're politically correct. And most of the politically correct people are white, unfortunately. I hate to say it, you whiteys are bringing a lot of this on yourselves by not speaking out and being politically correct. Hopefully, we can change them kind of things in Oldham. It's not going to be so easy to call me out if you don't bring any evidence. And if you're just going to say politically correct words, you've lost the argument anyway. But if you can bring up facts to prove that schools in Oldham don't speak English properly, if you can bring up facts saying that schools are great in Oldham, please show me them schools. Please show me where there aren't sexual assaults going on in schools or people being bullied by gangs. Just show me that evidence, if you will, on a debate, and we'll sort it out there. But thank you very much for tuning in. Big John here. 17th of November will be a date. Will be a date that should be set in history. In history. Big John's second attempt in a year in running for a local council seat. The first time I got 174 votes, and I am going to get more this time. Can't give you a figure yet, but I will try and give you a figure the week before the election. But that's me. 17th of November. Please get in contact with me if you can help. Again, I've got 2 lads already. One's starting tomorrow, and the other one is starting Saturday delivering leaflets. I've got a lot of work to do tonight. I've got to cross-reference a lot of my sheets. I've got to finish off making sure my nomination papers are ready to go. And I've got to get my last signatures tomorrow for my nomination papers, which I will get by the end of the day. If I can get back up to Oldham before 5, I can hand the paperwork in. But I doubt it. I think I'll be out till about 7 tomorrow. I've got some door knocking to do. So, again, I've already got 2 lads on it. One's out tomorrow. Another one will be out over the weekend. And hopefully I'll have a 3rd lad out next week. And 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. Just give me a sec. Sorry about that. The door went. My post to be. You mean on Telegram? Yes, pork chops. Thank you, Ma'am Jack. I've got another election coming up, mate. A local by-election. The councillor Jean Stretton passed away last month. Actually, I mean, what can I say about Jean? Jean would have been old-style Labour. She did have the Labour leader at one point, but she got took off, and Sean Fielding got put in a place. And she isn't a council leader because she wouldn't hold the same Marxist or same kind of values as these new ones coming in now. And I was hoping to meet up with her and have a chat with her. And I did have some respect for her that way. I've never singled her out for anything in particular. But, you know, it's just a missed opportunity. I've missed her. You know, she's gone now. But God bless her. She's done her time in Hollingwood. It's time for somebody new in Hollingwood. It's been dominated by Labour for 40 years. Labour really needs to come out. So I've got an election, 17th of November. I want people to help me. I will be messaging people on Facebook and that, but we've got 5,000, more than 5,000 leaflets to get out. I've got lads starting tomorrow and over the weekend, and then another lad next week. But it's still going to take a good few weeks, couple of weeks to get them leaflets out. So if you want to help out or anything like that, get in contact with me. You can get in contact with me by email, or my phone number's there, and then we'll sort something out. We'll sort something out, and we can get. I mean, I have maps and all that, so I don't need actually to be with you. If you just leafleting and stuff like that, I can give you a map, some flyers, and then you can do it yourself. But again, we'll work on this. Again, as I said, I've already got lads. One starts tomorrow, another one starts at weekend, then another one starts next week. And out of the 8 postcode areas, that's 3 of them covered already. 3 of them covered with these 3 lads, but who are going to be helping me. But yes, thank you very much. This is NHPUK TV, an important campaign announcement. Big John's on the campaign again. Second time in 2 years. I didn't think it'd be so quick. I didn't know anyone was going to die. I didn't know I was going to get in another election. It's here now, and I'm running in it. Doesn't cost me anything. Oh, well, it does cost the money for the flyers. But, you know, and I'm going to have to work a bit harder this week. Probably take my mum out with me. Spend more time getting more people to look after my mum as well, obviously, while I go out. But, yeah, we're starting soon. Oh, SGA, yes. Is that you, Steve? Oh, I don't know. Wait. Let me. No, it can't be. Wait. I think it is. SJ, is that you, Steve? Thank you, Lenore. Thank you. I know I'm going to do well. Thanks, Bobby. I'm going to do well. I know I'm going to do well. It's all experience. It's all experience. I'm learning every time. Every time. I mean, I'm one of them people is that I don't normally make the same mistake twice. I learn off the first time, and I learned a lot the first election, and I'm learning now. I learned something this afternoon, actually, that I didn't know, but I'm learning, and that's how we get into things, and that's how we can work things good. But thank you very much for tuning in. Only a brief one for this Thursday. Talked about my election, and of course, I've just mentioned Ellie. So all the haters, I've never ever said who Ellie's been raped by, but she has been abused. And if people think that she's done all them injuries to herself, then you've got another thing coming. There is posts going up saying it's to do with white guys, but that's not why I got involved in this. Why I got involved in this, because the bigger scale is that girls are being groomed, eyed up, talked to, trying to get into being persuaded to get into taxis in Cumbria. No one's saying nothing. There's guys who've been arrested from Yorkshire in relation to child sexual abuse in Cumbria. The police are liars. The police give out public information to the media, which they shouldn't do. The media are complicit in this. I've showed you all this with Amy Fenton, how she covers up and tries to call you politically correct words when you mentioned that the rape gangs are Pakistani. You just couldn't make it up. This is what England's like. These guys are actually raping our kids. People don't say nothing because they're afraid that people are going to call them politically correct words. You're just a joke. Anyone who's like that, you just don't need to be in England. Go somewhere else. Go and hide somewhere. And anyone who, another thing is, anyone who mourns and doesn't vote, I haven't got any time, really. Everyone should vote, everybody. Even my own worst enemy, I would tell to vote. That's what I would do. And I've said it before. I've got people to, I was working in Shop Direct in 2012. Pakistani lad, I can't remember his name. He was over 18. I don't vote. That's what he said, I don't vote. So you don't talk. A week talking to me, he come in a week later with his voting card. I'll start voting now, John. And the guy has continued to vote in every election, only because I told him that, it's your say, it's your town. Whether you don't like my politics, it's your town. So it's up to you to vote if you want things changing in town. Otherwise, you just shut your mouth and don't say anything. Don't get involved in arguments over council and things like that. Don't go on about crime and stuff like that. And he went out and got his voting card, and to this day, he still votes. So, that's for everybody. Everybody needs to vote. Everyone needs to get it up. It is, Amalak. I know, she has lied, and I've said that she's, she could have lied and she may have lied. But the fact is, we know grooming is going on in Barrow. That's what we know. And people just don't want to accept it. People just will not accept that kind of thing is going on. When this guy's been arrested from Yorkshire in connection with Cumbria, Barrow in particular. Girls have already, before Ellie, have already tried approaching the police and the police, and they've just been fobbed off. The police have lied. Ellie Reynolds, 2 years for a blackmail charge, and she gets acquitted and thrown out at court. So that's the police's fault. That's not the court's fault. That's the police's fault for pushing it. Young Ellie Reynolds, honestly, 2 years. I just can't believe that what they did to that family for 2 years. Blackmail charge. So the police are lying scumbags in Barrow. We know grooming's got. So how can we believe anything? How can we believe anything to do with Ellie's case if we know the police have been lying already on other cases to do with young women? I'm just sick of it. No one says anything. Nobody says anything. That's the worst thing is the few who do speak out are just branded with politically correct names. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. If I wasn't a politician, I'd be wanting to go and fight somebody. But obviously that's not the way. I've got to be a politician. If I was any less of a man, less of a human being, I would be going out kicking off. I'm not going to do that. My war is going to be at the vote box and the ballot box. That's where my war is going to be. That's where I'm going to take my first victims, is at the ballot box. And when I get a seat and the council and everyone's putting their heads down, the council, which they will be doing, it'd be the first sign to wiping Oldham out with the National Housing Party. We're not stopped for anyone. We don't listen to them politically correct words. I mean, if I've committed offence, I should be arrested. No one's going to. I don't commit offence. I haven't thrown hate on anyone. what I do say to people, especially from minority communities, you better integrate better. If I was prime minister, if I was prime minister now, England would be shaking. England would be shaking the UK would be shaking in its boots. If I was prime minister, Nicola Sturgeon would be weeing the bed every night. If I was prime minister, that Welsh Assembly would be licking me boots. And if I was prime minister, we wouldn't have any boats coming over here. We wouldn't have any immigration. We won't be giving billions to Ukraine war machine. We won't be giving billions to countries that have nuclear capability. We won't be doing any of that. The world will be shaking in its boots when Big John becomes prime minister. That's what they'll do. They'll shake in the boots. It'll be one of these Johns here. We can't buy him. We can't tell him what to say. And he only listens to nationalists. That's what it'll be. I'll only listen to nationalists. Won't be listening to any liberals or wokies or anything like that. I mean, if I was prime minister, I wouldn't have any of this woke nonsense. People won't be getting cancelled because them people who tried cancelling people would be going to jail. They commit a crime. They commit a crime. Honestly, people will be shaking in the boots when I'm in the council. They'll be wondering what they can get me on and stuff like that. And, you know, going forward, even though I do slag the police off, I'm talking to them. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to the police, even though I do call them sex offenders, crooks and gangsters. And I've said it a couple of times to the big meetings and the big chief constables. But I'm talking to them. I'm interacting with them because that's the only way we're ever going to go forward. And, you know, if I ever find out that the police have been, well, they have been complicit in covering up child sexual exploitation. But if it happens on my watch, people's heads are going to roll. They will. People's heads are going to roll because I'll be wanting them to be accountable. Same goes for councillors as well. Same goes for councillors. You should be held accountable for your failings that you do in your towns and stuff like that. But they never are. But thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Aunt Sally, good to see you there. They probably would, yeah. They probably would start a war on us. But thank you very much for tuning in. NHPUK TV here. Big John's got an election, 17th of November. If you can help, please email me or phone me up. I have got a couple of lads, about 3 so far now. Over the next few days, we'll be starting leafleting in their particular areas. I've got a lot of ticking and cross-checking to do tonight, so I'm probably going to be up late doing that. I've got to get all my paperwork ready for going out tomorrow. Get me nominations, get me listing tomorrow night, and Big John's on it. But thank you for tuning in. 17th of November could be a date set in a nationalist history when Big John gets his seat, if Big John gets his seat. But thank you very much. I'm off now, and I'll catch up with y'all soon. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a stream over weekend. I would have done, but I'm going to be busy, and really, as much as I can get out there over weekend, I should be. But thank you very much for tuning in. NHPUK TV here. We put our party link, website links in the chat. If you want to help us out, join and pay 20 quid or a 10 or whatever. Pay 20 quid membership, and that will help us out a lot. We're slowly building up members, and the website can only do through PayPal at the moment, but we will have a bank transfer thing up there. But we're on it, guys. We're on it. And we've got I've got my second election in 12 months, which comes to a total of 4 elections in 12 months, just between me and Pat. Pat's 2 elections and I'm 2 elections, and we got my big election next year. But thank you very much. It's NHPUK TV. Thursday, 13th of October. Big John's on the ball. It's going to get nominated. 17th of November, ladies and gentlemen. 17th of November. Thank you very much.